Hey everyone, welcome to Mr. U's Reviews. Today I'm reviewing the new Christopher Nolan film, Tenet. This film follows the protagonist who needs to go on a major mission that has something to do with this complex process called time inversion, where you can reverse people and objects back in time, and the protagonist is armed with only one word, and that word is Tenet. As always, let's start off with the pros. The cast in this film did a great job here. You have John David Washington, who in real life is Denzel Washington's son, and he plays the protagonist, which, that's the name that the film gives him. You don't know his real name. And of course, like his name, he's the main character that the audience follows. And when he's learning something about this time inversion thing, the audience is learning it as well. And he played his role quite good. He's really showing himself to be a great actor like his father. So just nice job to him, props to him. And Robert Pattinson, who for sure for the last few years he has proven himself to be a strong actor. He's gonna be the next Batman, and the films from the past that he's done, he's a real good actor. And over here, he's the side character, you could say, but as the film progresses, you start to learn the importance of his character, and he played it very well. He was probably my favorite character in the film. But the most important character, and probably the strongest actor here, was Elizabeth Debicki. And you learn stuff with her character and what she's going through, and it's extremely important to the plot. And she plays her role just like that. She's really awesome here. She's probably been the best that she's ever been. So also props to Elizabeth Debicki. And Kenneth Branagh, who plays the villain here. His character, being the villain, it's kind of like a stereotypical villain, but he goes for it and he's menacing. So overall, the cast here is very strong with its acting. Now we have got to talk about the directing by Christopher Nolan. And if you see here, you can see The Dark Knight and Interstellar, some of my favorite films from him. I also love Inception. But anyway, his directing here is magnificent as always. It's epic, and the action scenes are quite possibly the best part of this film, where you see people moving forward in time and fighting, and sometimes in the background you'll see people moving backwards, and it's just super crazy but super fun to watch as well. And you might see people fighting each other, one that's moving forward in time, the other that's kind of moving backwards and punching. It's super complex, but it's such a unique film with its directing, and I just thought his directing was spectacular as always. And the cinematography here as well, just even from the first scene, you just notice the film looks pleasing to look at with its colors as well. Not that it's a colorful film per se, but each shot is framed well, and you have similar colors in each scene, and it was just two strong aspects here that I really loved. In addition, the musical score by Ludwig Göransson was another strong aspect here. The music is loud and immersive, and it even fits the theme of the film, time, because sometimes his music sounds like it's going backwards even, especially during specific scenes, as you'll see in the film, without spoilers of course. And I'm a fan of his previous work, especially how he produced lots of Childish Gambino's albums, because I'm a fan of his. And even his work on Black Panther and Creed and The Mandalorian was already just strong, but over here I think his work is at its best. It's loud and immersive, as I say again, and it was a great score. And even Travis Scott has a song during the credits of the film. It's an original song, and I would never think Travis Scott would make a song for a Christopher Nolan movie, but it's in here. Even the words fit stuff that happens in the film. So I thought it was just a great addition here. You even hear some of his vocals in the middle of the film during the score. But it really was a great musical combination between the two. And I just thought the music all around was very well done. Now let's talk about the sound editing of this film. And just like the music, the sound editing is loud and immersive, and it's a big reason why the film is such a big theatrical experience. And the editing of the sound, how it was loud, and how it just took you into the film was a fantastic aspect here. But, and this moves into things that could have been better, the sound mixing here was quite poor in my opinion. They didn't really balance out the dialogue, the music, and what's going on in this scene. They didn't balance them out well. A lot of the time it seems like the music is the focus of all the sounds, so when people are talking over the music, it sometimes sounds like gibberish, to be honest. You can't fully make out the words they're saying. And in a complex film like this, it is extremely important to understand what each character is saying, because they don't even repeat themselves too much, and once they say something, it's almost like essential to the plot. So I wish they could have either made the dialogue louder or the music not as loud, because I'm sure they recorded the dialogue of the film in a separate mic. But anyway, that was an aspect that could have been improved overall, but the editing of the sound was an awesome aspect here. Finally, I wanted to talk about the story of this film with no spoilers, because there's a lot of positives to it, but also negatives, especially on that first viewing, and I've only seen it once, and it's such a big part of the movie. But the story of Tenet is such a complex, complicated puzzle that you really can't start fully piecing together until you've fully seen it. Of course, there's certain aspects that you kind of understand as you're watching it, but it's almost like the film itself, you need to fully watch it, and then you get all the pieces of the puzzle to start putting together. That's just like an analogy, metaphor I came up with, because that's how I feel. And a lot of the film, I was left confused, thinking about when certain things occurred, or things that come back that I wasn't really focusing on earlier. So it's a film that demands your focus. And the positive with that is, I find that process very fun, rewatching films like Tenet, and even going online, seeing other people's explanations and interpretations. I find that just very fun, and it's a movie that I feel people will rewatch multiple times over the years, and that's when we'll finally feel like we fully understood the movie. So if you're into those types of films, the Tenet is the perfect one for you, but it's not for everyone because of its complex story. And it's one that even sitting here now, I haven't fully grasped yet, but I'm just excited to rewatch it once it comes on DVD or on demand to rent, because I just find this process really fun. Overall, Tenet is another strong film in Christopher Nolan's filmography, from the cast to the directing and action scenes to the music and sound editing. It really is an immersive theatrical experience. The sound mixing, on the other hand, could have been improved. I wish we could hear the dialogue a little bit better, because every word of this film requires your focus to fully piece together the puzzle. And the biggest aspect that bogs the film down is the story, which this aspect should improve over time as people rewatch the movie, as I rewatch it, because it really is a complex and complicated puzzle that requires multiple viewings. But after my first viewing, I give Tenet a B+. Thanks for watching, And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, don't forget your popcorn. Until next time, from Mr. U to you, stay tuned.